Hi, my name is Rainier, and if you've been following me or if you're new to this, you might know that I am very excited and passionate about people who are making an impact. Mission-driven leaders, artists, creators, influencers, entrepreneurs, and today I'm here with our good friend Camille, and we just had an interview about the lessons that she's learned, the impact that she's making. If you missed that, please go look it up because I think you will really enjoy that. And we're going to continue with the next part of our conversation, which is about something that she has read that has influenced her in her own personal journey. But before we do that, Camille, would you introduce yourself briefly for the ones that missed the introduction in the previous part of our conversation?
Sure. Yes. Thank you so much, Rainier, for having me here. My name is Camille. I was born and raised in the US, and now I'm living in Portugal with my husband and our three children. About 5 years ago, we started Learn English with Camille, which is Learning English with Camille, and now my husband, Calvin. So we write a lot of books, we create courses. And we have social media platforms where we're trying to make an impact by helping people learn English so then that they can make an impact in their community around them.
Hmm. So good. Thank you for that introduction. And as I've said in the other part of our interview as well, I did not send you any questions, so this is all very
Yeah.
spontaneous because I like the
Yes.
spontaneity of it, and so the answers will be straight from the heart and very authentic. But every leader that I know, and people that are making an influence, are making an impact, like you're saying, you produce, you do a lot of writing yourself, and books have shaped us. And I wanted to ask
Yeah.
you, what is one of the books that has shaped your journey?
Yeah.
What is something that you've read or
Actually,
are reading? And yeah, go for it.
it was when I was in Italy a few years ago. My Italian friend recommended this book called 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Berkman.
Hmm.
And it really impacted me. It's a book that I told myself, Camille, you can't just read this once. So I am planning to reread this book. But it's about time management and the fragility of time that our
Right.
time, like we think, oh, I can do that tomorrow. There's always time. But really, like we don't know our
Hmm.
timeline. And
Right.
then, like, I'm a person who loves to do so many different things. And sometimes I get FOMO, fear of missing out. And
Yeah.
so it just kind of really put into perspective that hey, you're not going to be able to do everything you want to do. You're not going to be able to travel
Right.
to every country you want to travel to. You're not going to be able to meet every person you want to meet and learn every language you want
Hmm.
to learn in this lifetime because you only have about 4,000 weeks is like the
Right.
average lifespan of a human. And so I was like,
Okay.
whoa, okay, Camille. And it just sort of like brought me back to like, it's okay if you don't do
Hmm.
everything in life. Like, it's okay if you don't go everywhere you want to
Yeah.
go. Like, and just to focus on being present and with my family and giving my time to things that I think
Hmm.
are valuable because
Right.
we're pulled in so many different directions with we could give our time to so many different things, not to mention nowadays with social media we can get stuck with algorithms scrolling for a long time too and
Hmm.
then be like whoa, like, and we can never get back that hour, you know.
Right. Yeah. So
So
I was going to ask you, I can guess what 4,000 weeks then, the title of the book, 4,000 weeks, correct? What it stands
yes.
for. And you already
Mm-hmm.
mentioned it, I think. Is it the span of a person's life, the average lifespan, or is it
Yes.
when
Yes.
between when they start their working career, or what exactly was it referring to?
I think it's the average span of
Mm-hmm.
a human being. Yeah,
Right.
I think so. Now I hope I'm not wrong. Let me see. It's time management for mortals. Yeah,
Right.
4,000 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. If we live to around 80, we'll have
Right.
4,000 weeks. So
Okay.
that's what it is.
It
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of this phrase from the Stoics that says "memento mori,"
Oh yeah.
which
Yes.
more or less translates to "remember that you will die." And it
Yes.
sounds kind of pessimistic. We're not used to thinking about these things in our time and age, but it really
Yeah.
does put a lot of things in perspective that our time is not infinite, and what are we going to do
Mm-hmm.
with that time? So, can you share a
Yeah.
little bit how has that shaped you or some of the decisions that you've made?
Yeah, I think I am someone who wants to say yes to a lot of things because I think when we say yes to opportunities, new opportunities can come up. But then I realized actually, Camille, you don't have to say yes to everyone. Or like I help a lot of people with language learning because I'm
Hmm.
a language learner myself, but I'm like, you don't have to help every single person that asks you, Camille. Like, and just realizing that, like, yeah, the FOMO
Right.
thing, fear of missing out, like actually I am going to miss out, but not letting it actually impact me in a deep way
Hmm.
to be like, let go, let go. And I don't know if it's
Yeah.
because I'm getting older now that the whole like time thing has come more into perspective. Because
Yeah.
when I was in my 20s, I never thought about it really, you know? And
Right.
now that I'm like 40, I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
life. Like, okay, if that is 4,000 weeks, I've already lived 2,000 of those. So it's just kind
Wow.
of like a reality, like a whoa, okay,
Yeah.
Camille. And am I doing what I feel like I should be doing with
Right.
that time, you know?
So being able to be okay to say no to certain things so that you can
Mm-hmm.
focus on the things that you're supposed to focus on. And you
Yes.
mentioned from this book what it really challenged you with earlier. You said the word being present has been a
Mm-hmm.
big impact from this book as well. How do you
Yeah.
translate that to your daily life in the work that you do, but maybe also as a family or among your friends? What does that look like to be present to you?
Yeah, I think it means because we can be physically in a room, you know, like
Hmm.
be physically there, but we could be distracted on our phones or doing other things.
Right.
So it's trying to actually put the phone away and be like, hey, like, what are you saying? My son yesterday really
Hmm.
was trying to show me something. And I was like in this chat room trying to listen to this Turkish conversation. And I was like, this isn't working. And I just had to like get out of the Turkish and conversation, the language learning, and be like,
Hmm.
okay, like show me what you want to show me. I'm here now. You know,
Hmm.
so just the simple things like that, just being
Right.
available.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question for you. And in our previous conversation, and again, if anyone's listening to this or you're watching this and you haven't seen it, go back and go have a look at it, go have a listen because I think you'll enjoy it. But I brought up the word tension, and I think I'll do that again because one of the tensions that I feel is, sometimes social media can be such a distraction. It can also
Yeah.
be entertainment. There's a lot of education on there, and it is a great
Yes.
tool, but it
Yes.
can really distract us from actually being present. And sometimes
Yes.
attention that I feel is I don't want that distraction, but I'm also adding to it at the same time because I feel like it's a place where I can create an impact, where I can have some influence, where I can share ideas with other people. How do you hold that tension between wanting to cut out certain distractions, but then also being aware of like, yeah, but we're also adding to potentially other people's distractions. Hopefully you're adding some
Yeah.
value, but can you
Yeah.
relate to that and how do you
Yeah,
deal with
yeah,
that?
yeah. 100%. I think most people can relate. I think any content creator can relate as well. Um, I think that we're always learning, you know, like we all every day is like an opportunity to learn and to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I try to one add content that would be educational, my content. Unfortunately, the best content that gets served up is like the stupid
I know.
entertainment, like but dumb stuff, but people do it. So, but I try to at least do things that are adding value to people's lives or teaching them something. And
Right.
then I don't know how, but I've never been a scroller. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I could become one if I let myself, but
Yeah.
I don't really use
Right.
social media other than to post my own content. So I really am
Right.
like besides YouTube and for learning myself, I
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot with YouTube. That's my favorite platform. Like
Mm-hmm.
listening to interviews, actually, kind of like what we're doing. Even it's so interesting
Right.
to me for language learning, but I'll do it in the languages
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn.
Good.
What
Thank
about
you.
you,
Thank you.
Rainier?
Thank
How
you.
do you deal with the tension?
Yeah. No, well, that's a great question. I think personally that I would be a little bit more sensitive to becoming a scroller.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
earlier on when smartphones were a little bit newer than they are now, I used to
Yeah.
download games onto my phones, and at some point I decided
Okay.
I am not going to do that because I know that that will be
That's
a
good.
distraction, that's like a
Yeah.
rabbit hole. And then it's easier for me
Yeah.
to say I'm not doing this at all than
Yeah.
saying like maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
And I
that's
found that
good.
to be very helpful to just being able to
Mm-hmm.
make that decision. So
Mm-hmm.
so with social media, that is a tension sometimes that I want to also, have people around me keep me accountable. So
Yeah.
with our
Yeah.
family, we do that, and I think it was one of my kids that asked me a while ago because you mentioned the stuff that serves up in social media isn't necessarily the most valuable. And one
Yeah.
of my kids, I think, was saying, "Dad, are you looking at brain rot videos or something along those lines?"
Oh
It was a new
no.
term to me. I don't think that is what I was doing at that point. I was probably looking
Yeah.
at rock climbing videos or snowboarding
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
But the idea was the same. Like, are you actually intentionally taking this to you, or are you just being served up
Yeah.
something just because it's in
Yeah.
front of your face? And I think that
Yeah.
is the tension that is there. And I can
Mm-hmm.
relate the content that I would like to add. Hopefully, it's of value to someone. It's
Yeah.
educational, it's
Yes.
inspirational. It will
Yes.
inspire people to pursue a sense of passion and purpose and wanting to
Yeah.
make an impact. But it is a fact that everything is so mixed. And, I
Yes.
think the main purpose of a lot of the social media right now is that it just needs to be primarily entertaining. And
Mm-hmm.
the best way to keep people's attention is that it needs to be shocking. It needs to have an element of surprise. And the more shocking that it is, the more likely people are going to watch it. So,
Yeah.
maybe one of
Yeah.
us should do a dance right now to just make sure that people keep watching, but then,
I'll let you do that.
or
I was just
the,
thinking I could just pour the tea over my head.
but yeah, it might need to be a little. Might need a bit more of a shock effect or surprise effect than
I
that.
know. I know.
Anyways, we'll skip that or keep it or save it for another time. The idea with
Yes.
this part of our conversation also is to keep it a little bit shorter. Again, if you'd like
Mm-hmm.
to listen to a longer conversation, go back to the first part of when I talked to
Yes.
Camille. But if there's one thing that our listeners or viewers would remember from the book 4,000 Weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
4,000 Weeks. If
Mm-hmm.
there's one
4,000
thing that
weeks.
they need to remember, what would it be?
You have time and you get to choose what to do with that time. So choose wisely.
Hmm. And
Just simply.
that's very simple. And why is that the most important part of the message from 4,000 Weeks?
Oh, because we just can't get that time back,
Yeah,
like once it's gone, it's gone. And
yeah,
so it's such a finite thing and it's a beautiful thing at the same time, like it's a gift,
yeah,
you know?
right. And so
Yeah.
in my conversations here, I've been telling our viewers or listeners go and check out Camille's channels. You can
Oh,
find her
yes.
at learnenglishwithcamille.com. With what
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about here, I'm also reminded of my wife, Rihanna. And now I'm trying to remember what exactly she posted a few weeks ago or a few days ago. And I think she said something along the lines of, it's the finiteness of time that gives it its value.
That is so
And
good.
I
You have a
really
wise
love that
wife.
too. So when you talk about the
Yeah.
book 4,000 Weeks, that phrase came to mind. I don't know if I quoted it correctly, but
Sounds
it
good.
it, sou- it
Sounds right.
sounded good. So let me repeat that. It's the finiteness of time that gives it its value. And so that
Mm.
is the message that I'm hearing when you, yeah, refer to this book. If anyone would like to look it up, if anyone's read this and you have your own thoughts or comments about it, please let us know in the comments or share that with us in whichever way you would like to do that. Camille, thank you so much. Would you mind also sharing where can people go if they want to find out more about Camille, learning
Yeah.
English with Camille, and also your family, what you do, where you're at?
Yeah. So you gave them my website if they want to check out my social media. It's Learn English with Camille. On Instagram, it's just my name, Camille Hansen. And if they're looking to learn English with my books, they can find them on Amazon as well.
Hmm. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank
And
you so much.
thanks again. I said this in the previous conversation too. In between our conversations, I checked to make sure that this is that we're still good with English. English is not my first language.
It
When
seems like it
in
is.
when in the Dutch language we say someone's your guinea pig, I used that phrase recently and Dutch people did not like it because they thought it was offensive. But I
It's
thanked
not.
Camille for being my guinea pig because this is the start of my series of interviews. And so I would love it if you would leave a comment. Was this valuable to you? What are you going to do with it? Feel free to obviously subscribe wherever you can or start following us and share the content if you think it's valuable to other people as well. So, thank you so much for being a part of these first steps. And I'm hoping to follow up soon with more inspirational conversations with people that are pursuing their sense of purpose to make an impact in the world around us. And together, I really do believe that we can make this world a better place and that we can just
Yes.
share beauty and life and value with each other. So I'd love to continue to do that, and I hope you can join me in that journey. Thank you so much, Camille, and thanks to everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.